What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Phaithful Phanatics Show, and welcome to the first Victory Friday episode of the 2025 Eagles season. The Eagles take down the Dallas Cowboys last night in the season opener, 24-20. This game had everything. It had spit, it had lightning, it had injuries, delays, big plays, turnovers. It had a lot going on. It was sloppy. It wasn't the ugliest, but what do we always like to say here, Scotty, on the Phaithful Fanatics Show? A win is a win is a win. There were a lot of positives to take away last night, especially from the play of number one. There were some negatives that we'll get into. Guys, we want to hear from you, so make sure to comment along. And the best way to do that is to check out the YouTube link. So check us out on Twitter first and foremost at DSM_Media is where you can find us. Hit that follow button, and then the link tree in our bio will take you directly to the YouTube channel you see pulled up on the screen here. And that is the best and only spot to get your thoughts, comments, and questions. So subscribe, like, share, whatever you got to do to help us continue to grow and help yourself be involved in the show. I'm one half of your host, Dylan Davis. To my right, my faithful co-host, Scotty, in the Love Hurts hoodie today. My man, happy Friday, and this one's got a little more juice than our usual show.
Yes, sir. Victory Friday. Appreciate you doing that intro, brother. I was just getting the show shared out on X for us. And, yeah, man, can't ask for a better start to the Friday right before you get into the nice weekend here. We got blessed because we are one of the best teams in America that get to be showcased on the opening night of the NFL. Luckily, the Cowboys happen to be rivals of one of the best teams in America, and they also got to be featured on the opening night showcase, which, it got a little disrupted at the beginning, man. It turned our night upside down to an extent. I agree, Martian. It pains me, and maybe we can jump right into it, man. Feel Good Friday. We got to talk about it. And I do want to be direct with Jalen Carter because it was just beyond fucking stupid, like on so many levels. Like, you're on national television. It's the starting quarterback, not only for the other team, but for the Dallas Cowboys. And there's no world where you're ever going to get away with that, let alone the thoughts that are going through your head to do it. I will say, man, Dak, he is just such it made me hate him on such another level because 1,000%. On one hand, yes, Jalen Carter, moron, it better never happen again. Mm-hmm. I hate that he did this with the reputation that he already has. That's what the other side of me hating it. Like, if Nolan Smith does this, right, it would not linger on like it's going to linger on for Jalen Carter. This is going to be talked about.
Character for someone.
Yeah, for the rest of his career, this is right. Yeah. This goes with him. But you look over at Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a 10+ year vet.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing, man, exactly, and that's childish and immature as well. So I just don't want that to go by. But yes, Martian, Jalen Carter. Just, ruin the defensive night because we just don't even know what the defense really is because we didn't have our fucking best player from the first snap of the game. So, yeah, he's an idiot. But, man, screw Dak, dude. Like, he is just – I just think he is such, like, the P where I don't want to, like, get too vulgar on here, man. But he is just the epitome.
Yeah.
Like, even the way, like, don't get me wrong. Like, once again, disgusting act by Jalen Carter. But pointing to the ref immediately, like, you fucking snitch. Like, I don't know, man. I get spit on, I'm gonna like react. Like, you don't have to punch him, but like, I'm pushing this motherfucker out my face if he spits on me. But whatever, he knew what he was doing. Ultimately, he got our best player.
You described it perfectly. As an Eagles fan, or even not an Eagles fan, what Jalen Carter did cannot happen under any circumstance.
Cannot, man.
And it is different because regardless of what Dak did, all right, I spit at your feet, I spit on the turf in front of you, whatever. You spit on my chest. You cannot spit on anybody. You cannot spit on a grown man. You woke up to a grown man on the street and spit on him.
You're getting
a lot more is going to happen than from a football game.
Yeah.
You can't spit on anybody. We understand that. But the other side of it is Dak knew exactly what he's doing. So this isn't just some innocent, victim that got spat on last night. And oh my God, what happened? Why did he do this? It wasn't just the words that were exchanged first. The standing behind his two linemen with his head between their shoulder pads, barking at Carter. No one knows what was said. He spits. Not only does he spit, what's he do after he spits at his feet? He smirks.
I swear he winked, man. I swear he winked.
On the ground like you do in every game. You did it on purpose. You got the reaction you were looking for, and hey, I mean, fuck it, well done, right?
It was done. Yeah,
the best defensive player kicked out. It worked. But you're not an innocent You're not an innocent victim in any of it. So
yeah, he's not a victim. That's the main thing. I'm glad you said that word specifically because that's the gist. That's the gist of what I wanted to say. Basically, right. Is that Jalen Carter may be an idiot, but Dak Prescott is not a victim. Like, let's get out of here with all that bullshit. Right. But yeah, man, that did suck though from the jump, just from the Eagles' perspective.
Dude, I was in shock the entire first drive. I'm watching Javonte Williams gash the center of this defense and right down to the 1 yard line and punch it in, and I still haven't even accepted that 98 out of the game.
Yeah, we lost Van Sumeren on the first play as well, right? Like he's got his helmet off, distraught, laying on the ground. You know his season's over. Yep. And then you just hear all this other shit going on. You hear about the flags, and you're just wondering what the hell is going on. And as soon as I saw Jalen Carter standing there in the middle of the field by himself, man,
you knew, bro. And then then you saw him whatever the ref said, he goes, and I'm like, oh boy, this is on us. But then I had no idea the ejection
kicked out. Yeah.
So it sucked the air right out of the building, right out of my living room last night as I'm watching this one, and it set up for a very ugly opening drive defensively. It set up for a very ugly first half defensively.
100%.
We can talk about the negatives, we will, but you got to tip your cap to Uncle Vic. You got to tip your cap to the rest of the defense for pitching a shutout in the second half. Now again, this game was weird. The lightning delay over an hour for both offenses. The Miles Sanders fumble, which we'll get to, kind of just shifted that game completely, and all you saw
epitome of his career.
Punt. When we didn't have any for the first quarter and a half of this ball game, but the defense is, I guess, where we can start with this one, man. What did you make of this defensive? I guess adjustments. Obviously, you saw him go to Jacorian Bennett and kind of mix him in with Adoree Jackson, who was just getting pummeled apart in this one, man. But you also had a lot of positives. Zach Bond was all over the goddamn field yet again, which is a great sign to see that consistency build. And the rookie, bro, both rookies, Makuba made some plays. He was around the ball, but Jahad Campbell in coverage, Scotty, not just trying to rush off the edge after the quarterback, dropping back 20 yards deep, breaking up passes. That was great to see, dude.
Yeah, no, I do agree. And, I think when I look at the defense, there were definitely some negatives, but I think some of the negatives you can take with a grain of salt. Once again, you just did not have your best player in your front seven, to be completely clear. So you take it with a grain of salt, but there were some positives mixed in there. You mentioned a lot of them. Zach Bond was just awesome last night. Just from watching the game, from my perspective, I thought he was the best defensive player on the field. You come out of the game, you get the PFF grade for Jahad Campbell. It turns out that he was actually the best defensive player on the field. And, I definitely saw the plays that he made. He had a part in the forced fumble. He also had the pass breakup you mentioned, and just happened to be in the right places at the right time. Zach Bond, like you said, all over the field, man, but just never gives up. The heart, the touchdown saving tackle of Miles Sanders, where he tries to punch the ball out. That's the playmaker in him, and then he still makes the tackle. That's the finisher. That's the game saver.
After trying to punch out the
ball. Exactly. An average linebacker, they might go for the ball punch, but Miles Sanders still getting the end zone. Good linebacker gets him to the ground still, and you give your defense a chance. They ultimately get the turnover thanks to Jahad and Q, and I believe it was Byron Young in the mix there as well.
Thanks to Miles Sanders, because that was just the epitome of Miles Sanders' career.
It's his career. Yeah,
big play followed by mistake.
I thought, I know Q got beat a couple times. He had the dropped interception. I still just liked what I saw from him. He's just still fierce. Even though he got that call against Pickens, man, when you watch that back, that don't look like no PI to me, man. It looks like they're hand fighting. He
grabbed in here, so the ref across by the end zone saw it. So.
Yeah, I just as he was going away from Q, you can see his arm kind of push off as well, and he tries to catch it with one hand because he is pushing off. Whatever they call it, I think that's what makes Q's game so good, is that he is going to be physical. He is going to play up close and personal with these guys, and he is going to hand fight. It might cost you sometimes, but you live with it. Adoree Jackson, obviously, man, that he was sticking out like a sore thumb last night. I actually just thought, compared to Adoree Jackson, Ja'Cory Bennett was just better, like more sure tackler. It felt like
first play, I think
quicker to the ball,
a holding call or PI out on land, but then after that,
I felt like that was like that was like a simulated call. Like it's just CD versus Ja'Cory Bennett, and CD is not able to make the catch. So yeah, pass interference. Like they were hand fighting too. Whatever. I like that he was just a little bit more physical than Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson just out there letting guys run by him. He's slow to the ball. I'm good on him. I would have even liked to have seen Keely Ringo at some point last night rather than Adoree, just because of youth. Like maybe you get something. I don't know. But no, I think he stuck out like a sore thumb. Finishing sacks, man. I think that's it comes with the early season. But Jordan Davis specifically.
I was going to ask you, obviously the secondary stood out in somewhat of a negative way, right? The linebackers, those are the two studs, the two stars from last night, Vaughn and Campbell. Yeah. You get to the front, right? I think that, especially in the second half, I think the front four did a lot better than what we were putting out in the first half, especially in the run game, bro. Like in the first half, every first down run by Dallas was 4, 5, 6 yards from Javonte Williams. And you're pushing yourself against the wall at that point. You're putting yourself in a bad position to get off the field on second and third down. And then they kind of started to shore that up in the second half as well. They settled in a bit. But I was looking for him. I couldn't find him at first. He made one tackle. It's not going to stand out to anybody. But I swear I saw the number 0 come around the edge and force Dak to move his spot a couple times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No sacks. Had one total tackle. Not a world beater last night. But I watched him come off that left end, that left side of the line a couple times and beat the tackle. And I'm like, all right, like if that's something that can contribute down the line throughout the year, that's going to be huge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I think
going to be needed.
I think Nolan Smith was quite impressive too. He had the bad calls, man. God, just speaks to the league, dude. Like the softness of this league is just incredible, brother.
And there's an emphasis on it this year with treating the opponent
why
respect, where it's the National Football League, man.
You can go out there and headhunt, but God forbid you just flex on someone.
What is the definition? It's just because he stood behind him and flexed,
right?
Like, what if he Fletcher Cox with the crawl? Remember the
right?
Would that have been taunting 7 years ago? Like, what is the definition of taunting? Do you have to be in a player's like after a DB breaks up a pass down the sideline and they're jawing going down the sideline back to the huddle? Is that taunting? Like, what are we doing?
Right. I don't even understand like what sparks like the focus on it. Like what makes it a focus of the season? Like what has happened in the past seasons that makes that a focus? Has there been a ton of fights breaking out in the NFL? Like no, we've actually lost a lot of the hostility in the NFL and rivalries and different things because of these rules where the players just can't even express themselves anymore. I think it is one thing. Like, obviously, you can't go spitting on people. You can't go throwing punches. Yeah. You can't do shit like that. You can't go ripping helmets off and shit. I understand that.
We even got that last night. We even got helmets ripped off last night.
Yeah, you did. It was funny, man. I saw some punches, like, thrown through blocking. Like, it's wild. It's just crazy when you – It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy when you see Jalen, the quarterback, get hit out of bounds, get hit while he's already slid down on the ground in his helmet. It's just crazy to watch that stuff happen. And then you watch Nolan Smith make a tackle for a loss and then flex, and he gets 15 yards. Like that's the stuff that makes you just look at the NFL like a joke sometimes. Like that's comical, but
correct.
I don't know, man.
And I'm just thinking about our two standout stars on the pregame show last night defensively. Yours gets ejected before the snap is run, and mine had one total tackle in Moro Ojomo. So let's improve as we go forward on the pregame show.
Moro Ojomo and Jalen Hunt. Hey, it's early. I'm not jumping the gun here. I'm not going too far. But let's see something next game, right? Like that was a big opportunity with Jalen Carter out, and I don't know. I don't want to say they didn't step up because they did step up in the second half. They did.
Sure, the entire
Yeah,
and I think that's the thing that gets lost. Like the Cowboys hit their team total over 19 and a half at halftime
in the first half. Yeah,
didn't score again. And that was an offense that was seemingly looking like they could move the ball up and down on you on their first 3 possessions and be methodical and mix in the run and pass. And you kind of shut that shit down. Obviously, winning the turnover battle last night with just the only fumble of the game was huge when they were driving. So,
game-saving turnover.
Things up, and that's why I just always trust Vic Fangio. Like, we don't even have all the pieces on the chessboard yet. Like, Adoree Jackson's not going to be starting games much longer if this continues to play out that way, right? Like, Sidney Brown's not going to continue to see. Sidney Brown got hurt again last night. I don't know. I can't remember if he checked back in or not, but like, we don't have all the pieces right now, and he was still able to make those adjustments against a good offense. Their defense we can talk about, but that Cowboys offense is going to be good as the year goes on. And they were able to shut them out in the second half and come away with the win. So
and I thought, on the Cowboys side of things, Javonte Williams, he looked pretty solid. He was running pretty hard. Their offensive line looked solid. We didn't get to see, once again, Jalen Carter out there, but their offensive line looked solid. Dak, it felt like he was having a better game than what the numbers show, I feel like. Maybe it was just the first half and the way it played out. Maybe it's because he got most of his numbers in the first half. Maybe that's the way I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
Because he ends up with, I think, like 180 passing yards, no passing touchdowns, no interceptions. And it just felt like he did make some big-time throws in that game at certain points. But I guess there were some penalties mixed in there as well.
How about, before we get to the offense for us, how about Chris Collinsworth talking about what one of the CeeDee Lamb drops about how this is so rare. It's one of the most sure-handed receivers. He leads the league in drops since like
2020. Yeah, literally. Literally.
If there's one knock on CeeDee Lamb's game, as great as he is,
it is.
His hands aren't so surefire all the time, and it cost them big time last night. 7, that's great. 13.
Route runner, he's got it. Like he gets open. I'll give him that, man. We'll talk about our offense because obviously it brings somebody else to mind, but. I did want to throw somebody else out there just before we move on and forget about it. Jake Elliott, solid.
Jake the Make, baby, from 58.
58, what?
58, yeah.
Okay, all right, Jake. They was talking all that shit for Aubrey, right? Cowboys kicker. Get the fuck out of here.
We were the most dominant team in football last year. Especially, after like week 5, right? Week 4, whatever it was. Into the postseason, we literally had questions. We had comments on the show. We had to have conversations about if you would just go for a 2-point conversion every time instead of allowing Jake Elliott to attempt a point after. That's how shaky he was last year.
Yeah.
So that's huge, bro. Like, because this was a guy that if your offense gets you to the 40-ish yard line, you can come away with points before. Last year, that wasn't an option. It was 4-down territory for us in those areas because you couldn't trust him. So for him to be nails on that 58-yarder last night was nice.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, bro.
Also,
it's refreshing.
Since we're shouting out special teams, bro, shout out Braden Mann also.
Because
Turpin just wanted a chance, just wanted an opportunity to spark some life into Dallas. And Braden Mann said, here's this one at the 13-yard line out of bounds. Here's this one at the 11 out of bounds. You're not touching the ball, brother. It's exactly what should have happened to Deshaun Jackson all the way back in 2010, whatever that year, 2012, the Miracle in the Meadowlands Part 2. That ball should have never been punted to D-Jax. That's what you do with scary returners. You don't even allow them to touch the football. So,
yeah.
Shout out to the special teams last night, baby.
Yeah, they definitely stood up, man. And we needed it at the end of the day. You don't win that game without.
Yeah, I mean, think about where Dallas's last possession starts, right? Like that last possession when you're sitting here, like, oh boy, like is this just going to be a classic drive that we've seen before, and just pull our hearts right out after an hour delay? And no, I think we gave up 1 first down or something, or it was a penalty or whatever it was, and then the defense said nope, and Jalen comes on, and I guess that's where we can go over to the offensive side of the ball. Jalen Hurts, man, the story of last night's game, like they don't win this football game without Jalen Hurts and playing the way he did last night. And no, again, the numbers don't pop off the page. You and I aren't the happiest about it because we lost money on it because we had his overpassing yards. Guess what? Doesn't matter. He was uber uber efficient. If you take a look at where the completions are, we've seen all these posts today, right, from other fan bases for Cowboys fans. You're telling me this guy's a top 5 quarterback? Yeah, that's how you move the ball against a too high defense the way the Cowboys are playing all night. They were not playing a lot of man-to-man. Everything was to take away a deep ball. And guess what? The one opportunity he got to, 50-plus yards down the middle of the field to Jahan Dotson. Also, shout out Jahan Dotson for actually being able to reel in a deep ball, not unlike Quez Watkins before. But Jalen, bro, like just the decision-making last night, the escapability. I think he picked up 5 third downs with his legs last night. Obviously seals the game with his legs last night. The way they moved the ball, just responding to Dallas's first couple touchdowns and then the field goal to get 17 points. Jalen just answered. Saquon didn't go off last night. We know AJ only had 1 target in the fourth quarter for 1 catch. Smitty had 3 receptions. There wasn't a lot going on offensively. They scored 24 points, and the quarterback did literally everything necessary to move the ball down the field on this defense.
Yeah, it was just it was a classic Jalen Hurts performance, quite honestly. You want to see the passing offense move a little bit better, of course. But at the end of the day, he's making good decisions. He's not turning the ball over, and he's doing things that simply other quarterbacks cannot do. And that is when he makes these decisions to pick up first downs on the blink of an eye, right? You can see when it clicks for him. He's taking off. He's going to go get the first down, man. And he kept us in the game early, man. You mentioned it earlier with the Jalen Carter ejection. It sucked the life out of the stadium. The Cowboys just drive right down the field. They score immediately. They make it look really easy, quite honestly. And the Eagles, they don't come out and score 7 there. That game looks a little bit different, in my opinion, man. You go back to it kind of reminds you of like that 49ers game. You remember that maybe 2 seasons ago? It was part of the collapse.
Yes.
James Bradbury's out there getting, it was an altercation. I just call it similar in that fashion.
We put up 3 on the board, right?
Take energy out of your stadium when you just have those altercations. I think James Bradbury was getting like bullied for something. Yeah. And then like you said, you settle for 3. Change that entire game. The 49ers score, I think, 3 consecutive touchdowns. The game is over. It's blown open. That could have happened last night because the Cowboys did come right back and scored again, another touchdown. So we could have been down 14-0 very fast on our home field without our best defensive player. Jalen Hurts comes out, just makes game-controlling decisions.
Yeah.
He just controls the entire game. He's the best player on the field last night, period. Like, you can say what you want about the passing numbers. He's a football player. Like I really just don't even care.
Passing numbers are with so the yards are down, right? But people are talking about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott threw for 36 more yards on 11 more attempts.
Cowboys had like a good game. They stuck with the Eagles last night, according to everybody. So yeah, it's just funny, man.
He was
Who comes away with the W?
He was 19 of 23 passing. Jalen Hurts, that is, Scotty. His 4 incompletions were 3 throwaways and a Saquon Barkley drop. He did not attempt a pass in which it was broken up or as an overthrow or an underthrow. Like, he literally did not throw an incompletion outside of that. And to HP's point, exactly. It's exactly what the offense did. And it was one of those nights, and you and I are texting about it because we had the oversight. We're like, man, is no one open? Because on TV, like I didn't watch the all 22 like today or whatever. So on TV, I'm like, I can't see the upper routes, the middle of the field or anything. And I'm following Jalen and where he's going. And I'm like, is no one getting open? Like, what's going on? No, they're simply taking away anything over the top. They're playing too high shot. And everyone's been tweeting it all morning. Too high show. Yeah, it's exactly what they did. And that's what he took. And that's what he came away with. Let me ask you this too, dude. I know he had like the 44-yard touchdown run against the Rams last year in the postseason in which he he exploded, broke a tackle, and took it all away. Did he look quick? Did he look more like quicker last night to you? He looked quick, like in some of those cuts, like the 1 3rd down, he got through the hole. He made it. He went right, jab step, bang, cut to the left, first down, broke off a tackle, whatever. Like he just looked quicker. He looked more like 2022 speed than with remember, because didn't he have the knee brace on a lot of last year or down the stretch last year or something? I forget, but
I don't remember.
He just, to me,
like how the playoffs faster.
He looks He looks.
I feel like he got a couple games off at the end of the season last year,
Yeah.
and he came back in the playoffs. I feel like he did look a little quicker than he did in the regular season, but yeah, no, he looked good, man. He looked good last night. The only thing I will say, and it is going to depend on how teams play the Eagles. I saw it tweeted earlier, and I completely agree with it. Ultimately, this is how teams are going to play the Eagles this year, to an extent. Sometimes, right? Like this is one way you can try to defend the Eagles and shut down Saquon specifically. It's the same exact thing that the Chiefs did in the Super Bowl, and they tried to focus and hone in on shutting Saquon down. This is what we're going to see, but my only concern, man, is the hits on the body. Like I know he's a running quarterback. Like I do get it. And that is one thing, once again, decision making. He really took care of himself well last night. He ran out of bounds. He slid appropriately. He took probably as less hits as he possibly could.
One impact. Like, yeah, I think he like purposely.
It was towards the end of the game when we kind of needed it too, you know, like that's just the gamer in him. But he just always seems to pick up, you know, just this small hampering injury in the middle of each season. And I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want him to not be what he wants, but that is just my one concern out of it is just getting your quarterback beat up. But
I will say, outside of the couple of push-pushes, I don't know. Like, obviously the last play, maybe it was kind of an option where there were routes when they slid Saquon out wide on the third down to end the game. You send 5 wide out with a mobile quarterback and the middle of the field's open. It's essentially a run, right? Like there were routes he could have thrown the ball if someone was open, but he's taken off, right? Outside of that and a couple of the tush pushes.
I knew he was going to do a QB draw when that was happening myself.
Outside of that, I don't know if I saw or remember any like designed runs. You know, I don't remember. There were no read options to Saquon where he kept it. There were no it was more so just scrambles and the Cowboys kind of pushing him out, and then he takes what comes from that. So that is one thing to your point, like, you know, worried about the body and taking hits. Maybe that is something that Nick and Patullo are putting together. Like, yeah, we're not going to purposely run.
He'll run enough without that. Yeah, right. It's a great point. Yeah, no, it's just I should say it's a minor concern. Like when you're just thinking long game, but that goes for Saquon. That goes for everybody. Do want to take it to the AJ Brown specifically because he nor Smitty were really involved in this game, but I think Smitty coming into the season, we didn't have too many concerns about Smitty and his health compared to AJ, that knee, whether it's the knee, right? It's not the hamstring. The hamstring was last year, I believe.
No, I think it is still the hamstring.
Oh, it is the hamstring. Okay. Either way, the knee, hamstring, whatever's bothering him. I do think a hamstring is worse, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever's bothering him. I was seeing like some of the all 22 tape being run back across X. I saw some different videos of the routes he was running. It did kind of look like he was out there as a decoy. I just, I hope he's healthy, man. That's all I really wanted to say. Ultimately, I just, main thing, want to get AJ involved, but I really hope he's healthy, man.
I think he has to be, right? Like, there's no way this team with Super Bowl aspirations is going to risk his hamstring in week 1 of the season. Like, I know it's the banner drop. I know it's Dallas. It's national television. If there is something to it, I don't think they're sending him out there as a decoy.
Landon Dickerson goes out there. You know what I mean? Like, these guys have this mentality of, like, push through, play for the team.
I know what you mean.
Landon Dickerson shouldn't have been out there last night, quite honestly.
I mean, he did have the surgery to take care of his issue, though. Now he
has a back injury that's separate from the surgery, though, right?
I think that occurred last night. Was that all?
No, he had the back injury. It was bothering him because he was out of practice just one day last week, and it was just for back pains. Okay. So, like, that's what I'm saying. They have this mentality to just, like, push through these things.
What I'm saying is, like, so Landon's a little different because, and they definitely dosed him up with whatever before, and that's probably what started to bother him late in the game with the delay and all.
The delay, exactly.
The AJ thing, when they're in their pregame warmups and they're out there with the trainers and there's doctors and all this shit, if he's not good to go and he's out in his routes in pregame warmups and he's doing sprints and whatever, if he's not okay, that's probably noticeable. If he's not able to cut and get into a sprint somewhat, that's probably noticeable to the team and trainers, I would imagine. And again, even if he has that mindset of I want to be out there, if that's noticeable week 1 of the season, I can't imagine they're letting him go out there. I get what you're saying, like just the warrior mentality.
It's hard to believe that he can be like that ineffective though. Like I do get scheming him out of the game from a defensive perspective, but 1 target, 1 catch, 8 yards in this game. Like that's I know he's had games like this in the past. It's just it is baffling every single time it happens. You take the win. I'm happy.
Though, right? Like Smitty had 3 for 16. Like that's quite as it's not as baffling. Obviously, Smitty's not as good as AJ. There's more targets. There's more whatever. But neither of them had a good game.
It's just, you know what it is, man? It's that I see like CD Lamb just streaming, wide the fuck open and getting the ball, and I just sit across and I'm like, well, why can't we just get AJ the ball like that? But different defensive approaches, all of that comes into factor, of course.
Yeah, secondary is an issue with Dory Jackson. So, but let me ask you, because I know Vic, I think is very keen on this, is Quinyon gets one side of the field. And I think, if I remember correctly, he started to change that late in the game. I think he was letting him
Quinyon started following.
But, that was the big problem. Like, I'm just surprised that both receivers couldn't get off the way that we were expecting. Like, Adoree Jackson was so bad. Like, we all recognize that. And CD had his for 110, but, like, Pickens had 3 for 30. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm just surprised that it wasn't worse. Like, I'm surprised Dak couldn't throw for 280 last night and Pickens go for 100 and Lamb go for 100 because whoever Adoree is on was getting open. It was kind of like Lamb was torturing him, and that was kind of it. Like, no one else had over 30, and Pickens was that guy. So
yeah, I think that's a good point, because the frustrating part is that every time you saw CD, it would be Adoree Jackson chasing him. So it takes you to that point. Like, why the fuck is Q not following him around, or at least throw Coop on him when he's in the slot? Excuse me. But by the end of the game, at least after the weather delay, at least from that point on, Q was following CD around. Fourth quarter on, Q was following him.
I think Vic got a little pissed off with how things were coming and said enough of this. But that's what you have to let him do. Like, he's your number one. He's the stud, right? Like, you have to let him follow who he follows. So
with this one, though, I do feel what Ginn is saying, but like, we could look back to the beginning of last season and the way we started, some of the up and downs we had in those first couple games. Shit happens. We dropped 2 interceptions last night. I think Zach Bond had one right in his hands that hit him right in the head. Quinyon had one like literally in his hand.
He just might not be made to catch the ball.
He might not be that type of corner, man. There's some guys that are ball snatchers. Ball hawks.
To get his first last year, he dropped 3 or 4 to start. Like, come on, bro.
He didn't have an interception in the regular season, and we were surprised in the postseason when he actually caught one. Sometimes you're shut down corner without the ball. Yeah, it's weird, but it could be. I hope not. Be the playmaker. Be the ball.
All in all, here's where I would wrap it up. Right?
Yeah. What's up?
It was one of the strangest games I can remember, at least to kick off a season. Like, just
have you ever seen a lightning stop it? Like, I can't remember it. At least I know it's probably happened.
I can recall games being delayed, at a 1 p.m. start, not starting right at 1 because of lightning in the area and a weather storm. But no, I don't think so. I think honestly, I remember a Hall of Fame game being suspended from weather or something. I don't even think they could be playing after it happened.
A preseason game, I think. Yeah.
I mean, but just think about it. The banner gets dropped, Rocky's on in the stadium. You can hear in the background kickoff. Oh, the guy we use as our fullback is on special teams, and he looks to be done for the year 6 seconds into the season. Waiting for a cart. Our best defensive player doesn't get to play a snap because he spits on the opposing quarterback and gets ejected. You had the lightning delay for over an hour. Very, very weird game. You didn't have Jalen Carter. A.J. Brown had 1 target. Saquon Barkley only went for 62 yards. The passing game only went for 152. And you won a football game against a division rival. they will look much better. I promise you. The Philadelphia Eagles will look better. The passing game will look better. Barkley will go for 190 at times. The defense will look better to start games. But with all that happening, all that said, all the missing pieces from last year, and then you lose Carter, you won a football game against a division rival to start the season. You're 1-0. That's the biggest takeaway for me. Improve and get ready for the Chiefs next week.
Yeah, and to that point, man, I with the way that game was trending, that weather delay, you get the fumble recovery with Q. I would put a lot of money on the Eagles going and scoring a touchdown after that turnover if that weather delay does not happen. So that game could have looked a lot different, to your point. And it does beg the question, man, should the Eagles invest in a dome? So
should every team just have like a retractable dome? Like
something.
Football's meant to be played outside, but should you have the luxury of just being able to close it when there's lightning in there, or even I
like being an outdoor team, but
take the NFC
that was not enjoyable.
Divisional round last year. Like that was to send a team. Like it's awesome to see. It's awesome to watch. Snow falling that way is amazing. But that's a ticket to the NFC Championship game. And we came out on top of it, and we played them before. Like, I'm not talking about it in the way that Rams fans talked about all last year. But that was the most important game of the season for those two teams in that moment. And we had to have guys wiping snow away with their hands so we could kick a field goal. Like, should that be a part of the game? That's the tough part.
And regardless, like, if the Eagles lose that game, we would look back on that game thinking, if the Eagles don't play in the snow against the Rams, they're the better team, they would win. So as much as I make fun of Rams fans for, saying shit like that.
It's unfortunate because we did slaughter you in LA in a dome earlier.
Yeah, so we can use that excuse if it happened, but it didn't. And at the end of the day,
put it that way. Yes, exactly. Like if we beat them in LA earlier in the year and then they beat us in the snow, then you can say, well, look at the contrast between
with no weather conditions.
Getting your ass beat. Well, not that we beat their ass in the playoffs, but you get my point. Getting your ass beat and then losing the playoffs, you don't have a leg to stand on when you're complaining to me.
And just imagine if you played the Rams without Jalen Carter.
Yeah, so let's keep our saliva to ourselves moving.
Come on, Jalen, be better, man. That was very disappointing on Jalen Carter because we talked about this coming into the season, man. You want him to be a leader now. Like, this is third year now. It's time to start growing into one of the leaders on the defense and being somebody to go to. Right? You should be the guy that takes the young guy out of that situation. Maybe not yet, but like within the coming years, man, you got to mature a bit, and it just sucks with his previous reputation.
Completely agree. Like you said, it's in different ways, and obviously he is a far, far, far superior talent than the guy I'm about to mention. But it's just one of those things where, like, remember the Derek Barnett? Like, it was just constantly a 15-yard penalty. It was a roughing the passer. It was unsportsmanlike. He was doing something dumb, and it cuts to him, and it's like it's always fucking him. It's like learn. Like, when are you going to understand it? You're a grown ass man. You're far superior playing level. So you take the bad for the good, but it comes within reason. And you got to stop punching people in the head when you're frustrated. You got to stop spitting. Like, that's just so.
You know what I was thinking? So, that extension just went down a little bit. You just saved us a little bit of money, Jalen. You did that for the Birds, man. But the teammates are not thanking you.
Yeah.
Or his contract's going to come with a clause, like
you get PI or not PIs, but personal fouls and shit.
Yeah, every personal foul is X amount back to the Birds, back to our cap. So
they should do that. Quite honestly, they should keep that motherfucker in check. Yeah. Those are the things you got to do. He is, like, to your point about Derek Barnett, he is just too talented. You got to invest in him and you got to get him right. So let's get him right. The leaders need to talk to him. Let Lane sit down with him or something. I don't know. It's funny. I don't know how the offensive line and defensive line, how they interact. I know they stay in their own groups and such. Yeah. But it's like, who in that defensive line room is going to check Jalen Carter?
It's a fair point.
I don't know.
But,
maybe Jordan Davis. He should be able to.
If there's anybody to do it, it has to be Jordan Davis. But,
yeah, he's the only guy, like, big enough.
Yeah.
Maybe Nolan Smith seems like a motherfucker. Like, he seems like a guy that's not afraid of anyone.
Like, because and Jalen was asked about, it and he said, we're all good. We learned from it. Like, they just seem like two polar opposite human beings in Jalen Hurts and Jalen Carter.
How did they even have a combo?
Like, what does that talk sound like from the most mature man on the planet, apparently, and the way he speaks in, like, rhyme and reason, to Jalen Carter?
Yeah.
A dude that doesn't give a fuck about anything and laughs when he spits in your face. Like,
I have no idea.
Learn a lesson while Jalen Hurts is giving him some speech.
I can't even, like, see it. I need to see them, like, interact. Like, I can't even see it right now. Because you're right, man. Jalen Hurts makes me feel like a child sometimes with how mature he is about things. So
yeah, bro.
I can only imagine what that combo would be
my
like.
age, and we are just on two different stratospheres of maturity.
It's on one side, kudos to Jalen Hurts for being a great leader. Goes out there, exemplifies why he is the leader of this team, why he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, one of the best leaders in the NFL. And then on the other end, you got your just super talented defensive lineman. Needs to get his head out of his ass, grow up a little bit. So it is interesting. It's just seeing, like, the polar opposites.
Yeah. But you mentioned, before we get out of here, we don't have to spend too much time on it. It's like, it's weird because it's not a downtime for the team I'm about to bring up.
Actually, a crank up time.
Yeah, we're actually, like, gearing up towards what we've been waiting for all year. It just so happens to be week 1 of the new toy of Christmas Eve, right, with football and the Birds and defending the championship. But the Phils just won a huge series, and I know the 50 people in the chat right now might not care to talk about it. So we're not going to talk about it for long. We're going to get out of here. It's a Friday. We're going to go enjoy the weekend and start the weekend. But that was a humongous series, bro. Like, absolutely huge. And it's what I said to you. And again, it's one series against the Brewers. It doesn't make or break them. But what did I say to you a few weeks ago when we were talking about the run that they were on and 30 games over 500 compared to other teams in the NL? The Brewers just don't scare me as a team, like, in the postseason. Like,
I feel like it's always
scare me more. Like, the head cases we become in Citi Field scare me more.
Yeah.
The Dodgers will still scare me more than the Milwaukee Brewers are, even if they finish 40 games over 500. So it was just such a big win, such a momentum shift. We come home, we get the Marlins now. I think the magic number for the NL East is 17 for the Phillies now, with about a month to go. So it's, like we said, it's that time. I don't think we've even spoken because I was away. Kyle Schwarber's hitting 4 home runs in one game. Duran's back to looking like Duran. The bullpen's back to being locked down. Sanchez
Ranger shoved the other night. Yeah.
They're.
I saw you put look, we didn't discuss the thumbnail before the show. I saw you put Nola on the thumbnail.
It's a little joke. A little joke. But
I was wondering if you were going to mention him because he's on the thumbnail. That's only I'm not bringing him up to bring that up.
No, I'm glad you did that. Because obviously losing Wheeler.
You would like the idea of Nola stepping up and being a guy.
I'm past it, bro. I'm being so serious. And I know we've had our woes with this other guy throughout the season, and he's had some really bad outings and innings. Aaron Nola would be 5th in who I trust in a playoff game right now. I don't care about the experience. I think he's so shook. That time off, all that time off, thinking he's got to get right and whatever. That apparently has done nothing for him, dude. Like 5 runs in one inning, 6 runs in another inning. I would trust Luzardo, and I'm gonna fucking say it. As of right now, I would let Taijuan Walker start 5 innings of a playoff game before I threw Aaron Nola out there. I don't trust him one bit right now, dude. He would be 5 for me on this rotation heading into the postseason. It's every outing, dude. There's not a good one mixed in that I can remember.
Yeah. So, I didn't mean to bring that up.
No, it's a great point because it's a huge issue. It is the glaring issue on this baseball team with Wheeler down and the way he's pitching and who else can you trust? You have Sanchez and Ranger right now. the strength of this team has completely flipped heading into September.
Yeah. His last what, 5 starts, like dating back to May? 9 runs, 6 runs, 3 runs, 4 runs, 6 runs.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Marshall.
So
First of all, we
weird.
got to talk other things than just one Eagles game, but also, like I said, to start the segment, like I know it sucks, like going from the Eagles win over the Cowboys. It's week 1, but like this isn't like the downtime of the Philly season. This is like we're a month away from a red October. Like it's time to get fucking going. So they will be a part of the discussion. But the last guy I wanted to point out, bro, Harrison Bader has been an A++ addition from Dave Dombrowski.
Yeah.
My God, bro.
He's been going nuclear. It's really,
and it's not just at the plate.
In clutch moments.
He did it again yesterday. He did it in Texas in August. He's robbed like 2 or 3 home runs to save games for this team. He's threw a guy out at home. He's been amazing defensively. The speed is evident out there. And just what he's done at the plate. And I think you're starting to see it with Topper, bro. Remember when Topper would never bench Nick Castellanos? Like Costi plays every game for the Phillies. It's starting to become evident that center field is no longer the platoon. It's right field. And what it needs to be is Marsh every day in left, Bader every day in center. And if you want to platoon Castellanos and Kepler left, right, go ahead. Because Nick looks lost. Kepler, I don't care for. If Rob presses the right button each and every night, thank God. But Bader and Marsh, without a doubt, deserve to be playing each and every night. And they're left-right. It's not like they're the same and you're stacking up. You know what I mean? So you have both sides of the plate. And yes, without a doubt, Jose, Christopher Sanchez is the ace right now. And I would play him over Aaron Nola right now, bro. I'm not even joking. And I agree.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good spot, man. Who do the Phillies got up next?
We got the Marlins, and then I'm pretty sure we had the Mets coming back to town.
Got the Marlins tonight. Sanchez on the mound, so
yeah, we have the Marlins for 3, and then the Mets for 4 at the bank starting on Monday. Talk about
keep us busy. Keep us busy throughout next week. For sure.
And it would just be such a momentum jolt for this team, too, to take care of business in that series and win like 3 out of 4. Because everyone thought, like, and I know, like, if we had to play the Mets, everyone's going to be worried about going to Citi Field. But everyone thought in August that was the time to bury the Mets. We're up 7 games. Bury them. And then we get swept, and everyone's worried. If you take care of business now and put them down 8-9 games by mid-September, you buried them. So, no, absolutely. Listen. They get 4 games swept at home against the Mets, then I just give up. If they see this team in the postseason, they just mentally fringe the fuck up. So I will give up at that point. But no, that will not happen.
I have to hope that will not happen.
No, yeah. I have the utmost faith that minimum this will go 2-2. I'm hoping the Phils can take 3 out of 4 against the Mets coming up.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah.
But
it would be a confidence booster for sure.
Big series coming up. Humongous football game next Sunday in Arrowhead. Fox game of the week. We got all week next week to talk about it.
Yes,
all
sir.
Week to talk about the Phillies. Pretty soon, Martian, we're going to be talking about the Sixers. I got to whisper it for now. We can't get too loud about it.
Yeah, Maxie needs to watch his mouth too, man. Sorry, I'm just playing. It's all good, but it's just funny. Like some of the responses to him, it's been hilarious.
Did you see George Niang like comment or quote tweet and be like, "You won't go out on Broad Street and say that, though."
Exactly. Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, George Niang knows. He knows what's up with the Philly fans. No, yeah, we'll be back with the Sixers soon. But Maxie's funny. Fuck the Cowboys.
Also,
who you got tonight, man? Who you got? Chargers and Chiefs. We didn't discuss that yesterday.
I got the Chiefs tonight. I don't know if I'm going to lay the spread. I probably would think about it, but it's only like what 3.5.
I honestly haven't even looked.
The over, I think, is sitting at 46.5. I think that's kind of intriguing. I do have Omarion Hampton on one of my fantasy teams, so I think his total rushing is 48.5, and he's plus money to score a touchdown. So that's something I'm looking at. But yeah, there he is. He's got Joe. Yo, look at his picture.
Love it.
Ryan,
Yeah,
you got me on that one. I love the picture change.
horrific game. Nah, it was a victory, man. It's Victory Friday. Can't be horrific. It was weird though. It was definitely weird.
Very
I'm
weird.
just happy
But
to
with
be
that
on the
said,
winning side.
unfortunately, Pumper, it is Friday, and we've been on here for over 50 minutes, so it's time to get the hell out of here and go enjoy the weekend. We will be back on Monday talking more Birds, talking more Phillies, and whatever else you guys want to get into. Anything college football, anything NFL related over the weekend, we will talk about gladly.
Yes, sir.
Make sure to check us out on Twitter at DSM_media. Hit that follow button, and then make sure to check out the YouTube link specifically. Please subscribe. It's YouTube. It's free. Share with your friends, family, any other Philly sports fans that you may know that could enjoy the content. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Enjoy your week out and enjoy your weekend and go Birds.
Go Birds.